Hey, I'm Yucko the Clown. What's your name?
That's how you're starting the show off?
That's how I want to
You're
start
starting
it.
the show off with Yucko the Clown?
Do you remember that shit?
Yes, I remember Yucko the Clown.
Hey, I'm Yucko the Clown. What's your name?
Holy shit. That's how we're starting the show.
Yeah, only because I came across it a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck was that? Was it just internet? Pre-internet? Like, was it on a show?
No, I think it was during the, I think it was during the internet times.
I mean, we were
it
seeing...
was like early 2000s, wasn't it?
We were seeing it like YouTube compilation videos of it or whatever. I just didn't know, was it coming from a TV show? Was it
right.
This guy that just did it and it happened to be filmed?
Yeah.
I didn't...
Sorry, I'm just checking the mics because I'm such a professional.
Right. Yeah, you are.
I don't know. Mine's feeling so quiet. Hey, welcome back to the Mellowbrook Road, everybody. My name is Van Windsor. Welcome to The Path today. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, the dutiful Trace T-Dub Windsor.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this path today. It is path number 37.
37.
You know, I kind of wish... I kind of think of this show as like the Mellowbrook Road, as in like we're going on walks a lot,
Mhm.
and we're thinking about stuff, and then we're coming here to discuss what we've thought about during our walks.
Right.
Because it feels like walking thoughts, because a lot of my thoughts are random.
Oh, yeah.
And I get them all the time. It's like when I'm walking, if I don't have music playing or
Mhm.
something, that's what happens.
All mine come from me doing something else. Something like Yucko the Clown pops in my head.
Right.
And I write in my phone, Yucko the Clown. And that's it. One of these times I'm going to get myself in trouble and write a note and have no idea what it means.
Yeah,
or why I
you're gonna
wrote
get in
it.
trouble for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
somebody's going to come after me on that.
Do you remember that show Walk and Squawk that I tried to get started on the
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
When I first had this, like before you were even
Yeah,
on the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, we should do that again.
Yeah, we should.
We should get back into that. That was
We
fun.
should solely off. That's just such a great name.
Because it's easy. Walk and Squawk.
Well, that too. But the name, you just can't waste it.
And the mascot was a parrot.
Yeah, see, we got to
I already have
revive.
I have the thumbnails. They're already made.
Oh, we got to revive this.
Yeah.
Let
I
us
think
know
it was
if
on
you wanna see
Patreon.
it.
It was just a walking, talking.
Are they still-
Well, the problem is that I live so far in the middle of nowhere that, like, who can I get to come and walk with me?
Yeah.
You know? That was the only thing. It'd just be like me walking with my own thoughts, which is fine. But
I know a guy.
who's that?
Me.
There we go. We're done.
was easy.
There we go. Well, welcome to us. So tune in for that new show. The Mellowbrook Road is ever growing and ever expanding
Yep.
as we continue to push forward.
The bricklayers continue to lay bricks. I love that.
Isn't that
Bricklayers.
wonderful? Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start off with Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter,
Yep.
he's our oldest living president. That man works so hard. Love him. Love him. He's a good guy. Do you remember seeing a few years ago when he was building homes in Katrina? He was
Yeah.
like 87.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get down there. And he was on like a roof, hammering shingles. So he's like in his 90s. He's like 95 or something, right?
What the hell?
He's super old.
I was trying to look that up, but the first thing that came up said, is Jimmy Carter a
died.
distant relative of Elvis?
I
That was
don't
the first thing,
know.
as if that makes sense.
He helped birth the career of Elvis, right? Because he was the rock and roll president, wasn't he? Isn't Jimmy Carter the president that? Hey,
I'm
if
not
you're
sure.
listening to this podcast and you're over 70, send us an email over at mellowbrickroad.podcast@gmail.com. Let us know if Jimmy Carter and Elvis are related.
He's 90. He was born in 24. So he's 99, 98?
Yeah, I think he's 98.
He's
in
98.
Anyway, he got put into hospice.
Yeah.
And I am very worried. Well, actually, I'm kind of optimistic a little bit because I hope that, because Jimmy Carter is a very vocal, like he says when things aren't right to
Right.
him. And so I'm hoping he goes into hospice and realizes what a travesty it is that we shove old people into those things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's sad.
Do you think people live too long? Do you think we spend way too much money like trying to keep people alive when they're really not doing much?
I don't.
That's kind of a hard statement.
Yeah. I'm not old
That's where
enough.
we are. We're in episode. We're in Pat 37 here.
37
We're
takes
getting-
a dark turn.
We're getting serious.
I mean, China's
Wait.
dealing with it.
Is it 37? 27.
37.
Why does it matter? Go
It
on.
doesn't.
37.
China's dealing with it actually right now, right? Like, aren't
Yeah.
people are really pushing for the euthanization of
Yes.
older? Because they have on average, much older
Yeah.
population.
I don't want to say anything too strongly, but I can give you a list of reasons why you can do that.
I just feel bad for Jimmy. I obviously don't know him. I wasn't alive when he was the president, but he seemed like one of the good ones.
He was a pretty good president. Yeah, he was like a rock star.
And
I'm pretty sure.
think he's done. I think I'll also say I think he did a lot of good after the presidency,
Yeah.
which doesn't always happen.
Ask my third grade history teacher. I don't fucking know. Okay, I don't remember.
Shout
the
out to third grade
presidents.
history teacher.
I do know
Mrs. I don't remember.
Bibbs.
Bibbs?
That
That
was
was
fourth grade.
Fifth.
Fifth grade. I do know that the capital of Arkansas is Little Rock.
Sure, you nailed
No,
it.
what's Louisiana?
Louisiana?
Yeah,
Don't put me on the spot because you were on the spot.
I don't remember.
Uh,
Oklahoma is Oklahoma City.
You nailed it. Little Rock, yes.
It is Little Rock.
It is Little Rock.
Thank you from the research side of the table. Yeah, so Jimmy Carter is in hospice, and I don't know. I just feel like we should just give. I mean, because I feel like hospice is just old people just like hanging out. It's like what they were
But-
doing, but like they get like they're helping because like they can't like operate themselves as well on
But
their own.
Hospice is end of life care.
That's what that is.
Hospice is it's over now
right.
kind of thing. It's not just an old folks.
So
home.
why not just like drop to your knees and like fucking back of the head? Why we gotta spend so much money making the end of? Why don't you just give them a bunch of like drugs?
You're getting a lot of
Your mic just cut out. I think that was God telling me to continue. No, I feel like end of care as no, you just need to get back inside there in the cabinet. I'm just gonna keep going. Top drawer in there. Yeah, I feel like that if it's end of life care, I feel like they're right there. You just pump them full of drugs. Just get them right there. And then just let them go that way. Why we gotta like rent them a permanent room, or not permanent, but why we gotta rent them a room in a hospital for a couple of $10,000?
I do think he's at his home.
He's at his home doing hospice. That's nice. That's kind of nice that he's at. When I think of hospice, I always picture it's in a hospital. And I don't know if it's because the word hosp is right there, but not word, but you know what I mean. Or what? I just feel like you see them; they're all like hooked up to all these machines, and they're really just like making sure they can walk to the bathroom in their room and back. And I don't know. Is it possible that it's for like the job market because there were no jobs, and then they were like, "Why don't we take care of old people?" And like that creates a lot of new jobs for like nurses and stuff, medical staff, people that do laundry in hospitals. I'm sure that's a big uptick for older people. Sometimes it happens. Not a big deal. You want to join this? You got to pull me out of this,
I'm
man. I am
trying.
stuck in here.
You're digging a hole.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
I think that my personal opinion is that a human's a human, and they need to be taken care of until the end. Sometimes.
I don't know. I feel like we could get into a really nasty argument on the opposite side of the life spectrum as well,
Right.
with
And I don't want
who gets to come in to this world.
Not
who
on Path
doesn't.
37.
Not on Path 37. That's for Path 137. We'll come back to
Oh,
it.
gosh.
Hey, have you ever used like a really big word in conversation? Not like a big word, but just like a word that's not an everyday word, and you just kind of like in the middle of a conversation, and then in your head you're just thinking, "I'm such an asshole for trying to use that right there."
Yeah. But I used it correctly.
Yeah, like you used it correctly, but you kind of like you definitely like didn't force it, but you kind of forced it.
Yeah, I've
'Cause
definitely.
it's like you could have said the everyday word,
Mhm.
but you like the layman term, but you decided to like push it for
Right.
some reason. It's like what objective? Like what? Why am I doing that to this person? Why do I want them
Yeah.
to think I'm smart?
I did that the other day. There's an account. I watch him on YouTube. He does like woodworking stuff. I actually don't even know his name, but he brought attention to the word chatoyancy.
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 It's like
chatoyancy. Is it SH? SHAT.
I
Can I
have-
let me try and spell it. When you find it, let me know and I'll spell it. Chatoyancy. Am I saying it right?
yes, that's how he says it.
Okay, you got it.
Hold on.
Chatoyancy. It might be a CH in there too.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, it's SHATOI. Chatoyan. Wait, SHATOINCY.
You say S?
Sure. Wait, where?
At the beginning?
Chatoy. No.
tr-
Oh
try
wait,
again.
SHATOINCY.
No,
The Chatoy. Oh. SHAT.
it's not SH.
Is it CH?
Mhm.
CHATOINCY. Chatoyan. I'm missing something in the OINC, but
It's actually
wait, is it like buoyancy? Is it something to do with like water?
no.
Oh,
It has to do with wood.
wood floats. Hey, what's the 6 degrees? 2 degrees away.
Chatoyancy is CHATOYANCY.
This is an amazing episode.
Jimmy Carter and chatoyancy.
Spending 5 minutes spelling chatoyancy.
Anyway,
yeah, what's chatoyancy
chatoyancy
mean?
is when wood grain gives off the 3D illusion when exposed to light. So when you shine light on wood and it kind of it looks layered and stuff. That's
Oh,
chatoyancy. That's how the guy says it in the videos.
chatoyancy.
And
He
so I
must
was-
have just learned that.
He talks about how he didn't know that's what there was a word for it. He
Yeah.
didn't know that. Then he came across it and he's like, "Oh, I'm using this every chance I
Yeah.
can."
It's like the little plastic piece on the end of shoelaces.
Yeah.
The
Aglet?
aglet. Yeah.
Aglet.
Aglet.
And-
I feel like everyone knows that. now.
Yeah, I feel like
So
when you-
I don't remember what kids show showed that, but I think that's everyone knows that now.
but I was talking about what chatoyancy was the other day,
Hmm
and I'm like, I'm a fucking asshole.
That sounds like a name.
I'm like at dinner
Chatoya.
talking about chatoyancy, and I didn't even know what it was a day
Mm.
before. I'm like, I'm a fucking asshole.
Yeah. I think I said the word. I think I said deceived. Like, I'm not a big word,
yeah,
but
that's
like
not
the way I used it, I was like, why did I say deceived? Like, I could have said tricked.
tricked.
Or like, I can't remember what it
Bamboozled.
was. Like, fucked with me.
You
But I said-
bamboozled.
I said like, well, the way I said it, I think it was like, the context was like, oh yeah, he really deceived me or something, or that was, or that, I can't remember
Oh,
how
I see what you're
used it.
saying.
I used it in a weird way
Yeah.
that you wouldn't really
Well,
think
you
of the
just-
word deceive. But I don't know why. I don't think there was any malcontent toward it, so I don't know why it doesn't matter.
It doesn't happen very often, but there's also times where have you ever used a word that you probably didn't use it correctly?
Oh yeah.
Do you
Welcome
ever
to the show.
do you ever yeah. Do you ever correct people that use words incorrectly?
It depends.
Yeah, it depends on who it is.
Depends on who it is. Depends on the context. Like how close were they?
Mm-hmm.
If they're way off, well, okay, I'll give an example. I will always, not always, but I don't like it. I don't like the phrase "I could care less" because I feel like it's couldn't care less.
It's couldn't.
yeah,
yes.
that's what I say. I
If
say
you say you could,
because I
then-
couldn't care any less. Like it's
Yeah.
like the lowest on my care meter.
Yeah. People get that wrong all
I couldn't care
the
any.
time.
I couldn't care any less than how I care about you and your dumb baby.
I know I used to say it both ways, but then I
Yeah.
made like a mental.
Yeah, I did too.
You have to say this.
It
couldn't. You
So
have
now
to correctly.
you see it in like movies and shit too, and you're like, that's not even
You know what?
like this is written in a script.
Yeah. The one that rings my ears is Granted.
Yeah.
Took
Big
it
Rick,
for-
are you a big Rick and Morty fan?
I took it. Yeah. Is that in one of the episodes?
I thought you were doing a bit. Yes.
Oh, no.
That's a big bit in the show.
Oh, no.
Not in the show, in an episode where Rick says that and Morty like roasts him, and then Rick erases his memory because he was embarrassed.
I think I remember that now.
What are you? Some kind of rock person? What are you, Rick? Why? How long you been saying that like that? It's really funny.
But Granite, that one's one.
I've never heard that in person.
It gets me a lot.
That was the first time I'd heard, and I was like, do people actually
Oh, yeah.
mispronounce granted?
I've heard that a lot. That's another one where I kind of had to make a mental note about it, too.
I like bagel.
Bagel?
That bagel's funny.
Is it a bagel?
Yeah, bagel's funny.
Bagel?
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I don't know. I guess I just associate bagel.
Sometimes people just have a speech impediment, and you can't say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're more talking about the meaning of words.
On the meaning part, I've corrected Macy only because I know she will reuse the phrase, whatever she uses. I don't really have an example, but I'll correct her like one-on-one as like a, hey, if you say this again later, I want you to know
you're an idiot.
No.
Oh, you did it wrong.
What you're actually trying to say.
Embarrassing me.
This is what you should say.
Yeah.
But she's also done it to me, so it's two-way street, I suppose. Have you ever heard this quote before? I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it.
That's the freedom of speech.
That's great.
Yeah.
I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death. So I try to find
That's the freedom of speech, the First Amendment.
I don't think it's the wording, though.
It's not. I mean, that's
But
what freedom
that's
of
what
speech
it's
is.
saying.
That's what freedom of speech is.
So I heard that, I think, in a book the other day, and I thought, man, that's really great. And so I looked it up because I like knowing who comes up with these great quotes. And the name Voltaire kept coming up. Voltaire. Voltaire. This is now the spelling podcast. But anyway, Voltaire, I guess is how you say it, is who's like credited with it.
Makes sense. Sounds like Voltaire.
But there's no evidence that he ever said that. There's no written evidence that he ever said that. He's like some, 17th century, 16th century philosopher or something. What do you
I know.
philosopher?
Yeah, I know who Voltaire is.
I'm saying it for myself because I don't know.
Somewhere over there on a bookshelf.
But apparently this Evelyn Beatrice Hall, who wrote under the pseudonym of S.G. Tallentire or whatever, actually is the one that said it. The quotation, which is sometimes misattributed to Voltaire himself, is often cited to describe the principle of freedom of speech.
Right.
But, so like, he gets credited for it, but it was really her paraphrasing what Voltaire believed.
Yeah.
So Voltaire might have said something similar.
Super wordy.
But she
condensed it.
Yeah, she paraphrased it to this great quote.
She made it nice.
And
readable.
Everybody's like, what a great quote that Voltaire said.
Oh,
and
right.
She's like,
she's a woman.
Yeah.
She's got breasts.
She's a woman in the late 1800s, early or middle 1900s. She passed away, and she gets no credit. I mean, she does.
Not a good time for women. Like from like the beginning of time all the way to
might have been
kind of like probably 10 years from now. Not a good time. Not the best for women. They're not quite there, but close.
Yeah,
getting better. Then also losing steps. But that's our fault. That's us. Here's a quote that I have seen. If you're going to be unhealthy, go be unhealthy. But I take issue with the people actively campaigning for others to join them and be unhealthy too.
Yeah, good point.
That's from Boom Shiki on Reddit, a comment that they had made.
That's really good.
Something. Yeah. I think it was, and then someone said, I am vaccinated, but to be fair, being vaccinated does not make you healthy. It makes you vaccinated, which is also true. Vaccinations it doesn't make you healthy. It just gives your immune system a kick in the pants, basically.
Yeah, it's
But yeah, I was thinking about that quote, the unhealthy one, regarding like, you can be unhealthy, fine, do you live your life, but like don't pretend like it's good for you.
right.
I think about
Don't
that,
act like it's the right decision.
that's how I feel with like, I don't want to like push too many buttons in this episode, but we're gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna say overweight, but like obesity, when it's like not good for your body. Once it gets to that point, like that whole like praising of that
right.
is like, it's not healthy though.
Right. Actual health.
You can enjoy your body, love your body, no matter what. But like, you got to be healthy.
But if your health is in jeopardy,
yeah, you can be big and be
Right.
healthy,
right.
but you got to like, I mean, it's a
That's
balancing game.
there is a really weird balance in
But that's the whole thing, is like, you can like love being obese
right.
or however, whatever your thing is,
Right.
but don't be like, everyone should join up
Yeah.
and be more like me because I love being this way.
Yeah.
Everyone should be
Loving
this way. It's like,
yourself doesn't equate to,
yeah,
everybody should do
do
it.
you, but like allow me to be me too.
And on the other end of the spectrum, there's like this weird like the gym culture and the over the like bodybuilding and all that weird lifting, like Instagram. Yeah, look at all these beautiful people.
Yeah.
There's
Same.
there's like a
Bruh.
weird middle ground of people that are like, that's not necessarily healthy either.
No.
Like pushing your body that far and not giving yourself to recover and eating
And
X amount.
being like way too into your body
Yeah.
is also unhealthy.
That's not healthy
Killed
either.
Bruce Lee.
But yeah,
That's not true.
what killed Bill? How did that happen?
I just read a thing. I can't remember.
I don't
want
want to heel turn that quick.
No,
but
no. Let's keep.
I was gonna say, how did that
we'll
happen?
Move on. We'll save it for next time.
So there's this weird, even something as simple as how much water you should drink a day. Why is that? It's pushed so hard on us that like, you should drink half your body weight in ounces. You should drink 8 glasses a day. You should drink.
right.
There's all these different things, and then there's some people that come out and go, drink when you're thirsty, and if you.
Oh yeah, that's like the new thing now.
So
is
now you
they're
get
like,
this.
The new thing is like, we've been drinking too much water.
Yeah, we're overhydrated.
Yeah.
So now you're thinking,
I've always drank a lot.
which
of water.
one is right?
Yeah, I've always been a water drinker.
I have the information of, maybe we're drinking too much water. I always did the half your body weight in calories.
I've never. Let me go on record right now. I have never once knew how much like ounces of water I've drank in a day. I've never once recorded that. I've never once like did the little Sharpie.
Oh, I never wrote it down.
I've never done that shit. I don't think you should just drink when you feel thirsty, but you should drink more than soda and sugar.
Oh yeah.
And coffee and stuff like that. I think you need to drink water. I think people drink a lot during the day. The problem is people don't drink water during the day. They drink 44-ounce styrofoam cups of soda or 6 pots of coffee, which I'm to blame. I drink a lot of coffee during the day.
Right.
I had like a whole pot and a half, 2 pots today. That's because I worked at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So I had an excuse.
You got a little bit.
But it's not an excuse though.
You got a little head start there.
But I think people drink a lot, but they're not drinking water or what their body needs. They're drinking like beer, which everyone knows is empty calories. That's the whole thing. How'd you lose 60 pounds in 3 months? I stopped drinking beer and that's all I did. Didn't even work. I didn't even walk. Just stopped drinking beer and all the fat melted away. That's not true. I mean, you have to do a little bit, but the beer is a big.
That's a great
proponent of that.
Parks and Rec joke. When Chris Pratt started training for Guardians of the Galaxy to do Star-Lord, and he came back to a season of Parks and Rec much thinner. Much thinner. And one of the characters is like, how did you lose all the weight? And he's like, just stop drinking beer. That's it.
Yeah.
He's like, how much weight did you lose? And he's like, 100 pounds.
Yeah.
It's like, you lost 100 pounds in, 2 months? And how much beer were you drinking? And he just laughs. Like, that's the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bruce Lee died of a brain edema.
Brain edema?
He was taking a lot of prescription painkillers, and he got a bad swelling in the brain.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
They
said it was because he was too healthy, but that's not true.
What, like the media?
Well, remember that was the whole thing. It was like he was like his body was like his body like couldn't take it, he was pushing it so hard that he
Right.
died. No. Well, yes. He
It
was
probably
also- the painkillers don't help.
right.
Because that's chemicals going in your body that's like fucking with it while you're also fucking with it as
Mhm.
Bruce Lee. And yeah, you mean painkillers. This is what kills a lot of like people that push themselves really hard. Because your body's like hurting because you're pushing it hard, but you got to keep going. So you take a painkiller that kind of numbs, like take a couple Tylenol, you know what I mean, or like Advil, just kind of get the edge off. But then you do that
all the time.
10 times a day
Right.
for 5 years, and your liver is going to rot.
I was gonna say liver and
or your kidneys are gonna yeah.
there's probably something to
And
do
once
with
your organs start failing, you're done, dude.
It was probably something to do with the way he had gotten his body to operate, and then you add painkillers. It's almost like his kidneys. I wonder if his kidneys couldn't dilute it fast enough, or like
Yeah.
get rid of it
Well, I know
to where it was almost too
Yeah.
strong. I don't know what a brain edema is.
I think they
but-
said that actually it was too much water that killed Bruce Lee. That's what it was. That's what they used to say. It was too much water. Yeah,
you can die of that.
overhydration is a very big cause of death. And it can happen, but you can definitely tell when your body's overhydrated. It is not a good feeling. But okay, so they did
swelling
so
of the brain.
last year. They did do a little bit of a revisit on his death because they're also thinking the kidneys too.
Okay.
So they're kind of doing a little bit of both. They're like, yeah, he did have a swelling of the brain, but his kidneys, like, because all the painkillers, obviously his organs were like,
Yeah,
not
they
doing
couldn't
the best.
couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Couldn't dilute it or whatever they have to do.
Let's see if I can find anything here. Some people said he died of heat stroke, which I guess could happen. No, I think it was. Yeah, he had headache, dizziness. 2 hours later, dead.
Another weird.
He was taking an anti-anxiety medicine. Wait.
Oh.
He was taking, a combination of aspirin and meprobamate, which is an anti-anxiety med, marketed under the brand name Milltown and Equanil.
Poor buddy.
Yeah. 2 hours later, he was found unconscious, and yeah.
You know what's another weird one is
That's sad. R.I.P. Bruce.
yeah, R.I.P. Harry Houdini. That's a weird one.
He had that tumor or something in his
He got-
stomach. And
that
he
guy
got, or no,
punched him.
it was like a pocket of like fucking bile.
That guy punched him
Popped him.
before he had quite braced for it or whatever. That was one of his tricks, was just
Mhm.
getting punched.
He was yoked. Houdini was like he was a hunk.
And
Honestly, look it
then,
up.
yeah, I put those in the same category as to like, how did those guys die? I mean, I know there's actual reasoning.
Yeah.
And they are different, but it's just like those are two that are just
Damn.
hard to wrap your brain around.
Listen to this. I was just listening to an interview with Dan Aykroyd, and he was talking about this ufologist who
I like
what was his name?
ufology.
It was in like the UK, I believe. John Freely, was that his name? I don't remember. But he was on this tour, right? His old big time ufologist, and he had like all this information. And he was actually struck. He was walking off the street, took a step off the sidewalk, and was struck by a drunk driver and killed. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 other. If his name was John Freely, or whatever his name was, there were 3 other men in the UK with that same name who all died from a drunk driver hitting them.
No
3,
fucking
so that's
way.
4 of them all the same name. They were looking for that motherfucker. They were trying to take him out.
What?
I don't remember his name. I'll have to look it up again in the interview. I'll send you the interview. It's really
What?
good. Dan Aykroyd is so cool.
Yeah, he's into that shit, man.
Aliens and ghosts.
and he's educated.
Dude, he
knows
is
his
legit. That he's the reason why I know it's real. Dan Aykroyd is so legit and credited. Like that's how I believe most of it.
I'm gonna find this. This is crazy.
I'll just send you the interview. He did it with Last Podcast on the Labs.
Jesus, man, that's crazy.
It's super crazy. Dan Aykroyd is so crazy smart. This episode of the Mellowbrook Road is brought to you by Streaker Sneakers Protective Gear. Folks, football season is over. which means it's time to ditch the cleats, take off the shoulder pads, and get to the courts. But this basketball season, we here at the Mellowbrook Road have made it our mission that all participants in the sport are protected from any harm. And I'm not just talking about the players, the coaches, the refs. We also want to keep the ones off the court safe. I'm talking the crowd, stadium employees, and most importantly, the streakers. Now, the streaker is essential to any successfully run sporting event. They rev the crowd up during a boring game, but they can also act as a kind of unifying lightning rod, pun intended, during extremely violent times, giving both sides not only a common enemy to yell racial profanities at, but they also get a few moments away from the feud they were having, and that separation gives them clarity that games are meant to be enjoyed, not won. And that all gives me a happy heart. So we've got to protect these streakers, people. There's a reason you don't see as many streakers inside on courts than you do outside on fields, and I'll give it to you in one word: chafing. Skin to court contact is the silent killer of many streakers, and by silent I mean loud and very, very obvious. That's why Mellowbrook Network has teamed up with world professionals to bring you, or to the streaker in your life, high-grade protective gear for indoor court streaking. And don't worry, we have ensured that the integrity of the streaker will be kept intact with minimal fabric touching your bare skin. You're going to be like 99% bare skin and then just a little bit of fabric, that's all. But let me give you the whole rundown of this amazing gear. So like I said, Mellowbrook Network has been working with the world's greatest professionals and scientists to give you protective gear that is not only the thinnest so as not to ruin the integrity of the streaker like I said before, but to also pack the biggest punch when it comes to defensive capabilities. Essentially what we're talking here is 2 cords. And I know, it doesn't sound like much, but trust me, this is insane stuff. So you got one cord for your upper body and one for your lower body. For the upper body, you're just going to put it over your head. It's going to go down past your neck and it's going to lay on your collarbone and around your shoulders, kind of like a necklace. And this is very tightly woven together cotton that protects against all skin to court chafing, because this cord, it has very thin fabric that hangs off of it, and it basically hangs down over your torso, down to about your waist, down to about your hips, and all of that super strong material is going to protect you if you are tackled on the ground, or if you run into the bleachers, say, or something of that matter. So this is going to protect you from that kind of chafing and sliding and rubbing. And don't worry, like I said, it's not touching your bare skin, so there is still plenty of air between the bare skin and the protective gear. So no worries there. This is simply a kind of outer bubble shield that is protecting your bare skin. Alright? And then for the lower half of your body, what we have here is you're going to take this cord and you're going to kind of step into it, and you're going to pick it up over your legs, and it's going to tighten up around your waist, right below where the top half protective gear stops. Where that stops hanging, that's where you're going to tighten that up for your lower half. And this stuff is crazy, because as a streaker, you definitely want your knees protected. You know, in case of falls, hard tackles, bleacher corners, all that bad stuff. So what we have here, it's really highly durable and yet insanely lightweight, thin denim patches all joined together, right? And this hangs down over your legs. Again, not tight, not like a latex suit, okay? This is hanging over your bare skin, hanging around your bare skin, protecting it like a bubble, like I said, a denim bubble. So you don't have to worry about your bare skin not being in the air, right? Not being breathable. And if you're thinking that this might be a little bit too much, let me remind you, okay? And this was my contribution. I'll take the fall for this if this is a problem you have with it. But I wanted to make sure that this very thin denim went around your upper thighs at least. Because for me, I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of my problems when I'm streaking in my local games is the rubbing, not from the court or from the bleachers or other people. It's from my inner thighs rubbing together because of the extra humidity in a basketball gym. You know, that's a big issue between basketball streaking and football streaking. In football, you're out in the open, right? Fresh air. Basketball gyms it's a tight room, real humid, you know, so a lot of friendly fire chafing going on. And so I wanted to make sure that didn't happen to anybody else. So if you find a fault in that, you know, you can take it, you know, that's all me. You can bring all your hate on me, not the company. That was my contribution. All right. That was my one thing. But that's your lower half, you know, not a whole lot. And it hangs down past your shins, because again, you don't want your shin banging on stuff, down to about your ankles. Then it stops there. See, not even tight, not very much coverage. And finally, for your feet protectors, this is a really big one for streakers. Like I said, for the lower half, this is almost more than that, because a little also different from an outdoor streaker on a field, an open field, very wide. An indoor streaker for basketball, you're in a court, there's a lot of people, they're all in the same room, so there's a much, much higher chance of bare feet being stomped on, and also your sweaty feet sliding across the always waxed basketball gym floor. That's why the scientists have created a thin, breathable fabric. All right, very strong. It's very light, so it doesn't add much weight to your running. It's going to lay over your feet, and that basically is going to protect it from any dangerous shoe wearers that are, you know, stomping around trying to get you. And it also will keep your feet dry so that they don't slide. But just in case you've got overly sweaty feet like myself, the top fabric is actually attached to a micro thin layer of rubber that fits underneath your bare foot, and it's going to add extra grip for you on the court so you don't slide, and that's going to add a greater maneuverability to your nude escapades as you're, you know, dodging all the popo and all those security guards. So order your set of basketball streaking protective gear so you'll be prepared to star in everyone's future stories. Go to StreakerSneakersProtectiveGear.com and use offer code MELLOW for 30% off your first purchase. That's StreakerSneakers.com/MELLOW for 30% off. Thanks for sponsoring the podcast, Streaker Sneakers Protective Gear. Now let's get back to the show. Let's move on to something else. I have another bone I want to pick here.
Do it.
So,
what a weird phrase.
What bone you want to pick?
I want that bone.
I like grave digging, man. What can I say? So, let me see if I can get this idea right. Do you think that cat houses and like brothels are actually inventions of insecure men who cannot, because of their toxicity or just whatever their fucking nature is,
right?
They can't get a woman to voluntarily have sex with them, so they concoct this business where it seems like the women are kind of in charge. There's a madam, all the girls, right? They have all the power, but really, it's just for like these fucking dorky, insecure dudes who like think, in like strip clubs too, and anyone can call me out on this. Okay, I'm putting myself out in the open on this. It's a business where their options for the women that they can possibly sleep with are attractive. Always like kind of what they want. Maybe, you know, variety, diversity and stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty much like gorgeous, beautiful.
Gotcha.
However you want to describe that. And they just come up to him and they ask, "Do you want to fuck? Hey, you want to take me upstairs? Hey, you want to go over here and get a dance? You want to do this, that?" And he's just like, "Oh, fuck yeah, cool, let's do it." Like, he only has to answer yes.
Yeah.
You know? And these women might not want to fuck this guy or, you know, these guys.
Do not.
But, like, it's their job. right? They're employees, they get paid. This is what they have to do as their job, right? They're paid to pretend to be into these rich and powerful assholes, and these assholes don't realize that they're pretending, and they're spending all their money on this woman to pretend to like them. Like, they're pretending because you're giving them money.
Yeah.
They're like, you keep handing me hundreds, I'll keep saying you have nice teeth.
Yeah.
Or a nice face. So no one can tell that's a toupee. No, everyone's that size. No biggie. But yeah, I think it's some sort of weird, perverted invention by these fucking like incel, which isn't even a thing back when these were invented. These like weird like guys to like get, because they can't get women, so they're like, oh, I'll just make a business where I just pay for it.
Yeah, and I'll get all the women I want.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right.
But like that's what they used to know. But like then those guys died, and the businesses were still open, and the guys, they didn't realize, they thought that the women owned it. Or they maybe that's not right. But you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like a business where like guys are paying women to have sex with them because you can't get a woman to do that for free.
That's how I see it.
So, or like a couple drinks.
Right.
You got to pay her like. But if I'm not taking any power away from women.
Yeah.
Right.
Get your fucking.
Because like you're getting your fucking paper, dude.
Yeah.
Get your fucking paper. I'm totally into that.
Yeah.
You know. Get that money.
Do your thing,
dupe these
shawty.
fucking idiots. These are morons. Dude, take their money. They don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll use it a lot more good.
A lot more good.
No,
I know what you mean.
You know what I was going to do? I was trying to think of a big word to use, and I hesitated. That's what happened.
Circle us back.
I got really scared.
No, I'm with you on that. I've been reading a lot of like old westerns, and there's always what they just in those books called whorehouses.
Yeah.
There's always that, and there's always a woman that is taking advantage. That's not quite the right word. That is.
It is. I think it's the right phrasing.
Well, like she's doing the act or whatever, but also
these boys look out of town.
Why
don't you go sweet them up? See if you can squeeze a little money out of their pockets. And you're like, okay. Yeah. And they walk over and they push them right up, and the guy's like, oh.
Now imagine
they do that
back then.
That's how it is.
Imagine then. The women are always like, do you need a bath? You look like you've been traveling.
Yeah.
And then they give them a bath, and I get
someone's been playing Red Dead 2.
No.
Don't they do that in Red Dead?
They do it in Red Dead 2, yeah. You can select where you want them to wash.
Yes.
So you can wash an arm or a leg. Yeah. You see the arm go under the bubbles.
Right. Because they're washing your leg.
Yeah, they're just washing your leg.
Inner thigh.
There's nothing happening. But in the books, they're always like, yeah, these women, I'm kind of on the women's side of they're getting paid, but they're also, I don't know,
hey, I'd be into like these cat houses and brothels being invented by women as a way to like have power and sway over men. And that's the case too. That's dope. I'm just saying, like, here's the thing. It's either women started the business and fuck yeah, to like take advantage of men, because where else, like, men take advantage of them every chance they get it one back on them, right? Fuck yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or it's a bunch of fucking losers who can't actually talk to women without the women spitting in their face, so they have to pay them a bunch of money to have sex with them. I'm also okay with that, because that's funny, because they're losers.
I've never heard the term, would you call it cat house?
A cat house?
I've never heard that term.
Never heard cat house? You get it?
I get it. I get it.
There used to be an HBO show called, what was it, Cat House or Cat House Diaries? I think it might have been soft pornography. I can't remember. I think it was like a reality show or something. Cat House something. I don't know. It was when HBO was like had all those cool
I also want to say
stuff.
I don't know. I know what it is in terms of the person, but I don't know what incel means.
Incel?
I see that word a lot.
Involuntarily celibate, I think, is what the term is. I think involuntarily celibate. Let me know on the socials, please. Trolls, fucking jump in and let me know what I'm wrong about you.
A member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually.
Yeah.
Typically associated with views that are hostile towards women, and men who are sexually active.
Yeah, it's a different than a voluntarily celibate, which is what I've been for the last 7 years.
Involuntary
celibates. I'm not a virgin.
That was convincing. When you have to look at the camera and say that, it's convincing.
Yeah, I'm not. But I feel like the more I defend myself, the more it seems like I am.
I'm glad I know that now because I see that word thrown around so much.
Incel?
Yeah, and I always
there's a
what's it?
There's a documentary about them. It's on. Oh man, what is it called? I'll find it. I'll find it and show you after the show. But it's about incels. It is sad, but they're also like angry nerds.
Where does the term red light district come from?
Maybe not Japan, but it's definitely like a district of a city where there's like strip clubs.
Yeah, but I didn't know if there was a meaning.
Japan has a red light district. I mean, that's where the red light is. Like the red light's on there.
Oh.
Everywhere else is like normal lights. That's the red light district. I mean, because it's like nighttime, so red light's like sexy. I don't know.
Well, it just
I don't
says.
fucking know.
I'm
not a goddamn city planner.
An area of town or city.
This is the Mellowbrook Road, man.
Isn't it funny that like a city planner at one point was drawing up like a park, and then the next day they're like,
put a little strip clubs
yeah,
right there. We'll get some boobies right there.
Hey, we need something in the red light district. Can you draw up a building?
Hey, can I get a bunch of buildings?
Dude.
Can you shape the buildings like a boobies? Can we get a building, 2 buildings next to each other, and then circle parking lot around both of them, like boobies in the buildings of the nipples?
Can you put like a helicopter?
Give them little spires so they're pointing.
Can you put a helicopter landing spot on top of both of the buildings right next to each other? And then like a little.
Oh, in the helicopter, got like flappers or whatever those little
tassels.
On the. Those are fun. We should get some of those. They're fun.
And that guy just approved a playground next to a school.
Yeah.
And then now he's approving the booby tassel buildings. Yeah.
That's that guy's Saturday. He has to work on that all weekend with his family.
Hey, can you come in?
They're trying to go camping, and he's like, I got to work on this fucking red light district. He wants the helicopters for the tassels.
Dude, at some point, those businesses were going through, like, liquor license, government bullshit. They're having to get, like, what is it called? Like, they're doing all the legal stuff to get their building to open, and it's just a fucking strip club or cat house.
Jeez. Money-making business.
Yeah, it makes money.
Money-making business.
Yeah. We should get into that. Oh, never mind.
Speaking of a money-making business, let's talk about religions. All right? I'm really going at it today, okay? Here's what I want to...
You are committed.
Yeah. Here's what I want to say. I just have a couple more questions. Why is it that we call modern-day religions and, like, religious leaders, we call them scam artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see them... And we're like, oh, this is a cult. No, these people are tricked. They're brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what they're talking about. They're out of the norm. No, this is not a religion. You're crazy. You're trying to get money out of these people. And yet, older religions like Catholicism, Judaism, others, Buddhism,
Christianity.
Yeah, well, those are all. Yeah, I was trying to think of Islam. They're all kind of the same branch.
You're right.
I was trying to but why is it that like we say like those are legit? Because they've been around longer. Like they've been able to fool more people for longer.
They're grandfathered in. They're past that. Oh, it's a scam.
I just feel like the same critique of like modern day religions or like religious leaders that they're trying to start up, or like like Mormonism. That's a modern day religion.
Mm-hmm.
But the same critique of those religions being all about control and money, it's the same as older religions, right?
Yeah.
But like, is it because they're so ingrained in our society that people don't even? It's like people don't even have those blinders up because they don't even realize that they can put that there.
Right.
They don't realize like, hey, when that plate passes around, you can just like, you can just pocket that shit if you want, or you can just not put money in there. You can't pocket it. There's too many people. It moves too fast because like you're not like you can't have it for like more than 5 seconds. Trust me, I've been to church before.
You've been.
I've thought. Who hasn't thought about taking money from the fucking collect plate? Man?
You're right, and I'm gonna be.
And especially they'll be like, oh, but it's a church. You can do. When you're a fucking kid, when you don't know anything as a kid, you're like, why am I in this pointy ass building?
Yeah.
You don't understand, and
why is it
was free money. There's just money passed in front of you.
Yeah. We've been playing too much Hitman. Because when you illustrated the thing coming by, I thought of like Hitman where you see it and it says illegal.
Oh, yeah.
And then it gives you a command to like grab it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought of all the little yellow triangles seeing you.
Everyone just immediately turns on you.
And so you're like,
that'd be creepy.
Then you're just standing in the church like everybody knows you just stole the money.
I'll
That's how my brain
I'll
processed.
see my way out.
Yeah.
And then you just stand up slowly, hope no one realizes you didn't put the money back.
Hey, come back here. And you're already out of the back door.
Oh, I'd be sprinting. Actually, what I would do is I'd probably like throw a pie at the priest's face and then I'd run.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Throw a wrench.
Next time I go to church, I'm bringing a pie. And I'm going to try and take from the collection plate. If the priest catches me, I'm throwing a pie in his face. You heard it here first. Millbrook Road.
Did you see about the Catholic bishop that
Touched a bunch of kids?
Not that one. I don't think this
Licked
one.
a bunch of kids.
No, I believe he was murdered.
Ah, yes.
In Los Angeles.
Praise all to the Father below.
Yeah, he was shot.
Another charlatan out of the world. Wait, he was shot?
He was shot.
Right, who was it? Was it a drive-by?
It was in Los Angeles.
Was it some sort of gang shooting?
He was in his home.
Oh shit! I meant gang as in like religion gang.
He was in his home.
Like a bunch of rabbis like drove by and were like, I'm not gonna do a rabbi accent, but
yeah, he was in his home, and the L.A. County Sheriff's Department is treating it as a homicide.
Really? Was it like a? Oh, they don't know any details.
There's nothing yet. This was updated. What's today?
Do they think
this was updated today? And right now,
so they don't have.
At first, it was just we found a man with a gunshot wound. Now they've updated it to we're
found a man with a gunshot wound. They found him in his home.
In his home.
They found him as in like. We were called to this guy's home. Okay.
Probably doing a welfare check.
Yeah.
And
we just found a man. He had a gunshot wound.
But since today it's been edited or updated and it says they are now treating it as a homicide. He was known as a peacemaker.
As a peacemaker. Well, he was a bishop.
Right.
So that's what they're supposed to look like.
Yeah. I don't know.
I bet it was one of his past altar boys with a gun loaded full of karma. He just fucking get down on your knees. You suck me off now.
God. Let's move on.
So I've been trying to be more aware of my eating habits lately. I'm just gonna walk away from that situation.
You just stole the money.
I've been doing a lot of what I do is it'll be like 11 o'clock at night and I'll be like, well, time for a tortilla. Or like
just a plain one?
Sometimes just a plain tortilla. Just something.
Been there, done that.
Some peanut butter crackers or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know, made the other day. I took a tortilla. I was kind of high, and it was late.
I like that you covered this side of your mouth so the camera could see it.
It's called showmanship. And I got a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
Took a peanut butter, creamy Jif.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a big old sloop and I went, bam! Slapped it on there. And I kind of spread it out a little bit. I threw that. Microwave.
Yes.
30 seconds.
I was going to recommend this.
Let the peanut butter melt a little bit. It was still kind of solid. Gave it another 30.
Mm-hmm.
I really let it heat up a little bit in there. Took it out. Let it sit for a little bit. Opened the fridge.
Do it, baby.
Pulled out the strawberry jelly.
Ooh, that's not where I thought.
Take that off. Take that same spoon. Well, lick all the peanut butter off of it.
Right.
Big old slap of that. Bam. Slather that all over that.
You did the peanut butter and jelly.
Wrapped it up.
Tortilla
nice and tight.
Warm. You did a toasted peanut butter and jelly tortilla.
I thought about putting it on the pan and getting it so the tortilla would seal. Because that's usually what I do. But I did not do that.
How was it?
It was delicious. It was a peanut butter and jelly burrito.
I thought you were going to say...
It was a lot of peanut butter.
The peanut butter, I'll do the peanut butter on there, microwaved, and then finish it with some honey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I should have done that.
Honey's good.
It hurt the next day. My stomach hurt when I woke up. Because I went to bed right after eating that, which you're not supposed to do. So what I'll do usually is I'll eat like a little bit of something. Sometimes I eat a lot of little something.
Yeah, me
at
too.
the end of the night. But what I'll try and do is like stay up for like another hour or two to make sure
Let it digest.
And then I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still wake up with stomach pain sometimes. Like sometimes it's like real bad.
Yeah.
Like, real
oh
tight,
yeah.
Like twisted. You know how like a dog's stomach will sometimes twist up in their body, and you gotta put it down because it's just like is in so much pain it won't survive.
Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Most mornings.
Not most mornings, but sometimes I do.
The other day,
it's not that bad, but
the other day I worked late, and then I went to like a little event thing.
yeah.
Hadn't ate supper, and it got to about like 9 or 10 o'clock. It was about 10 o'clock. I ordered a pizza.
10 o'clock at night?
10 o'clock at night because I hadn't ate all
I haven't
day.
done that in a while.
I haven't
Jesus.
ate. Yeah.
How do you even get to the day without eating like that?
I just kept having things to do, and I was drinking so much water
Yeah.
that I was keeping the
You know
appetite
what else
away.
does that? Sativa. Sativa actually curbs your appetite.
Yeah.
Indica brings it on.
Yeah.
But sativa will it sometimes can. At least for me, because sativa keeps me moving, keeps me doing stuff. So yeah, I guess it keeps you distracted,
Right.
and then you don't even think about hunger.
I was drinking so much water that it was,
Yeah.
just bloating you up, and you feel full.
Yeah.
And
Look full.
I kept that off, and then I was like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. If I go to bed, I'm gonna wake up
Oh,
with a migraine.
hurt.
It's gonna be bad. And so I was like, I
Probably
guess
had
I'll
too
just
much. You only water too. That's not good. We were just talking about
Yeah,
that.
I know. Ordered a pizza, ate the whole thing, and then went straight to bed.
That does not sound like a pleasant.
It wasn't good.
No.
Wasn't a good next morning. I can
It doesn't
tell you
even
that.
sound like you enjoyed
I really
eating it.
don't remember it. I don't
just
remember eating
inhaled
it.
it. You
I
just
just
scarfed it,
ate
man.
out of like,
It's a fun word, scarfed.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, like wrapped around your neck.
Because that's the thing with sometimes what's been happening lately that I noticed the last couple of weeks is I'll eat something at night, even if I eat like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had all that cake
Mm-hmm.
for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Valentine's Day, so we had like some chocolates that mom or that dad had bought for mom and stuff. And I was just like, I would just start just devouring stuff. I'd eat like a tortilla down here, and I'd go upstairs and eat like a bunch of sweets,
Yeah.
and then I'd eat some cake, like a bunch of cake. And recently, I'll do that,
Mhm.
and then like 5 seconds later, I'll be like immediately like looking for something to eat.
Yeah.
Like not even that hungry, just like looking for something to eat. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just ate like a quarter of that entire cake.
Mhm.
Like it hasn't hit me yet.
Right.
But when it hits me, like when my body because I think I read something that there was like it takes 20 minutes for your brain to realize you're full.
Good God.
Yeah.
Think about if that was instant, like
I don't
everything
know
else.
if that's 100% true.
Even if I'd have been surprised if you said 4.
Yeah.
If you just said 4 minutes, I'd have been like, wow, that's a long time.
I think it's 20 minutes because I think you know what? I think I heard it in a bit. So you might want to look this up for validity. But the comedian, oh no, who was it? It wasn't Bill Burr. But it was basically the bit was it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell
About
your
20 minutes?
brain that it's full. And how come it takes about 0.01 seconds for my toe to let my brain know that it hit a fucking table leg? Because that's bullshit.
It is about
And
20 minutes.
I laughed very heartily.
That is why
It was funny.
overeating occurs when you continue to eat beyond this point of fullness because your body hasn't realized that you are overeating.
That's fantastic.
You and I are in the same in that
But yeah, I eat really fast. I think that's my problem.
I do too.
And I'm more conscious of that in restaurants.
Yes.
But when I'm at home,
when I'm in
not all
restaurants,
the time.
I'm conscious of chewing more.
Yeah.
Because I've watched some videos or whatever about chewing more and making sure you're actually breaking your food down so it settles easier and all that kind of
Because
stuff.
then I can eat a lot. If I'm chewing a lot,
Yeah.
I can't eat too much.
It just takes too long.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, I'm getting full. But what happens to me is I'll eat my food. Like for out with people, I'll eat my food and people will go, you want to try this? And I'll go, yeah. I try theirs.
Yeah.
You want another piece? Yeah. And you try that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you're eating that. Then you're kind of finishing their food and you're finishing yours and you're finishing the appetizer before they take it. And all of a sudden, because when I go out, I want a little bit of everything,
Right.
but it's not a little.
I love ordering that way.
Yeah, I'll
It's the
eat.
best way to order.
I'll eat my whole thing, and then I'll try the other little things that I want to.
You're like Dad.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Dad does that.
The other day,
He doesn't even ask though.
no,
He just
well, it's what do they call it? The dad tax.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dad
the
tax.
Dad
Which
tax.
Just I guess fair.
The behind he's driving the car, and just the open hand to the back seat that's the dad tax.
That's the dad tax. I like that.
Like you get candy from the grocery store, and Dad's like, just like that.
I can see a T-shirt of like the front of it is like the dad driving with one hand like that, and the
Yeah.
back of the shirt
The back
is the back
is the back's
from the back
perspective.
seat. Yeah, I can see that.
And it just says
it's just his hand. It's
dad
dad
tax.
tax.
Yeah. It's a 20.
And there's like the dotted outline of a beer can in his hand. It's like dad tax, or like anything like that. Like dad's handing out like a picture of this, and then dotted dad tax.
That's great.
Hey, go get me or like he's in his chair. He's not standing up in hand. He's in his chair going, go on, doing that.
Yeah, he's like kicked back.
Oh yeah,
and the hands over the.
He's got one eye open. He's definitely like he's asleep, but he is thirsty.
Yeah, the hands on the remote, but he's definitely asleep. And you're like, do I go grab it, or is he gonna wake up?
Right.
Dad tax.
Dad tax. Let's see. So the Biden balloon. We talked about the Biden balloon. Have we talked about this already on the show?
We talked about it the day it was shot
I'm calling
down.
it the Biden balloon.
So there was nothing.
That's what it says in my notes.
All we knew was that it was shot down. That day that we talked about.
So let's talk about it because people are still fucking talking about this thing. So we might
Yeah.
as well too. I am sick of it.
Me too.
I'm sick of hearing about it. Well, main thing I'm sick of hearing about is how everyone's going, Biden should have just fucking shot it out as soon as he saw it. Because that's what Biden. But it's like, hey, first of all, Biden did want to shoot it out as soon as he saw it.
Mm-hmm.
They all told him no.
Yeah.
So your argument against Biden is already like dumb because he did want to shoot it down immediately. But here's another thing: we didn't know what the fuck that thing was.
Right.
We didn't know what it was.
Yup.
We can't just go shooting shit out of the air if we don't know what it is. All right? That's the kind of shit that gets World War I started. Just fucking real quick decision making like that. Just going, you know what? I don't have all the facts, but I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. And you just fucking make a move. And you know what? Now we're in a fucking forever war with all these other countries.
Right.
Fucking goddamn it. You know? We can't just shoot shit.
Yeah.
What if it would have just been a weather balloon? Then I don't think it was. I think it might have been an actual spy balloon. But I don't know though.
I have no idea.
I don't know. It's hard to
There's
tell.
so much information on both sides.
China's, it's hard to pinpoint with China. But here's the thing: what if it was just a weather balloon? Okay. And I love whenever I get into like conspiracy mode and I go and meet like Trump, Alex Jones hands.
Yeah.
Like
Alex
I mean, like
Jones
okay,
is
here's
what
the
I
deal.
thought of.
Okay, so if it was just a weather balloon, and Biden did shoot it as soon as it hit U.S. borders, right? As soon as it did, and it was just a weather balloon.
Mm-hmm.
What if that caused China to go to war with us finally? Because they've been fucking teasing it.
Right.
What if they decided to retaliate and going, that was our fuck, or what if that was like the straw that broke the camel's back with our relations with China? And like they're like, hey, that was our shit.
But it being on our
Well, but like no, I'm saying like before we didn't even know it was Chinese yet.
right.
We didn't know it was Chinese till it got to fucking Kansas or something. And then then they were like, let's just
Right.
wait. So like the whole thing is like, what if we would have just shot it down and then China was like, that was ours.
Mm-hmm.
What gives you the right to do that to us?
We shall retaliate.
Like that was like fuck you.
What if Canada had shot
But
it down?
that's saying like if it was totally just a weather balloon. I'm saying like if it was just 100% an
Yeah.
accident, they didn't mean for it to get out that far. I don't know what the deal is. Like I'm not saying it was or isn't.
I don't have.
I don't know.
clue.
But yell at me on socials and emails so it looks like we're getting more views. Just keep doing that. You can yell at me all you want, but I don't know.
What if Canada had shot it down? Would it even have?
Yeah, how come
Wouldn't-
no one yells at Trudeau?
Wouldn't
Was
it?
he still
would
is he
it?
still the thing of Canada?
The prime minister?
Yeah, is he still prime minister?
Seems like it.
Is there a king or a queen there? No, they were a Queen of England people, I think.
But
Anyway,
if they had,
why aren't you yelling at Canada?
if they had shot it down, would the
Ridiculous.
world be reacting the way it is, or like would we have been like,
oh
oh crap, China's gonna get attacked? I don't think so. Like I think it would have just been this weird little event and then it had blown over. I don't know.
I'm just saying, like I don't know. That's the thing.
I
That's
don't-
why.
I-
But that's the whole thing. We got information from China, weather balloon mistake, and we don't have to trust it. But at least we got some sort of answer that they're saying no big deal. So we're just like, okay, cool. We're just gonna shoot it down then. Like if you're saying it's no big deal, we're shooting it down. And if it becomes a big deal, you fucking lied to us. That's the thing.
You
See,
lied to me.
see, that's you know what that's called? That is named the most powerful force in the entire multiverse. Leverage. That's leverage, baby. Because they lied to us. They won't say they're just like, oh, it's no big deal. Just it's not a big deal. It's just a weather balloon. Just a little accident, no wind blow. No big deal. And we're like, cool.
Feels like
Boom.
that felt like a South Park.
It did it? Shoot it
Felt like
down.
South
You
Park.
shoot it down, and then it's like, okay, no big deal. If it's just a weather balloon, We'll just shoot it down. We'll send you the details it had, the data it had,
Mhm.
whatever. And then it becomes like a spy balloon. Then it's like, we got you right by the fucking Chinese word for cojones. I don't know the Chinese word for cojones, but that's the Spanish word for balls. That's all I know. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we should just. I mean, the thing that people keep talking about the balloons is because they found like a bunch more in South America. They're like all over now all of a sudden, and China's like, those aren't ours. I think so. It's like, what the fuck's going on right now?
What if every country was like, that is not ours?
It's almost like that comic book Trees, but instead of trees, it's balloons.
Ooh.
I just finished volume 3 of Trees. Holy shit, is it crazy good?
I've only read the first 2.
We'll talk about it on What You're Reading.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. Holy cow, you'll love
Whoa,
it.
that's
You'll love it.
awesome.
Check it out on Hoopla. It's right there
Yeah.
for you.
Hoopla.
Hoopla, the app. It's right there. You can't really see the magnet, but we got magnets now. You see them? They're kind of small, but you can see them, right? Hoopla's right there. I think
We
what
love
I'm going
Hoopla.
to do is outline them so you can
Mhm.
kind of see it with like colors, so you can kind of see them a little better. But
We love
it's all
Hoopla.
of our socials and where the podcast is available. If you were curious, it makes it easier than writing it down. I guess
Yep.
it's more for us than it is for them.
But it looks cool.
It does look really nice.
Nothing else. It
does look
looks
really nice.
great.
You know, we might as well go ahead and where can they find us at, Trace?
You can find us on Facebook at Millowbrick Road. We've gotten a lot of traffic lately. I keep saying it, but it's just
keep it coming, people. Let's go. Get these numbers going.
The traffic on Facebook's been great.
Awesome.
You can follow us on Instagram at Mellowbrick Road Podcast.
Going okay. You know, and not as popular as Facebook, but you know,
It's
Instagram,
okay.
it's doing okay.
You can listen to the podcast. You can also watch the podcast on YouTube.
Heyo.
Um,
That's right. You can watch us on YouTube.
But you can listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. You can follow us at Patreon at Millowbrick Road.
Patreon.com/Mellowbrick Road.
There you go.
Yep.
And then
That's where you can find our What You're Reading show.
And then our personals are at Van Windsor on Instagram.
Hey, yo, check me out, dude.
T-Dub Projects on Facebook.
Check out my Valentine's Day post
Yeah.
on Instagram. It's sick.
We got hoodies and T-shirts over at T-Dub Projects.
Oh
so
yeah,
come check it
And
out.
this is a blowgun.
Yes, it is, because we
This
know
is
you're
a-
looking at it.
Yeah, we know you're looking at it and you're like,
we
what is this
know
thing?
you've been
It's a
staring at it.
blowgun. It's a weapon.
Um,
You know. This is why I'm pro banning guns because I don't even need them
we bought that.
because I know how to protect. I know how to protect my own family.
We bought that so long ago.
I don't know how to respond.
Whoa, Siri, what's her name, makes her daily thing. I also wanted to show.
Her debut.
Yeah, I also wanted to show the stickers we got.
Oh, the new Mellowbrick Road stickers.
Yeah, the new Mellowbrick Road.
I got them right over here.
Here's one.
Oh yeah, right there. I got a whole.
Can you see it?
I got a whole bag of them. Yeah, I can see it. Hold a little closer. Here. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mellowbrick Road. Check that out.
We got the new
baby.
stickers.
New stickers.
Freaking love them, man.
Check them out, man. They're
I
not
love
very
'em.
big. They're very perfect for a laptop.
Yeah.
I got lots of stickers on my laptop, but it's gonna go somewhere on there. It's a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to cover somebody.
I wish I didn't put my gay Sasquatch right there. His name is Sass dash Squatch, right? Sasquatch. 'Cause
Sass-
he's sassy.
Quatch.
I wish I wouldn't put him there because he's got all the space around him,
Uh-huh.
but I don't want to cover him up.
I don't know.
It could also be a female Bigfoot. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I love the stickers though.
Yeah, the stickers are great.
Um,
I also have a bunch of. I actually, if anyone here has heard of Momentary Ink, the company, love them. I've used them before multiple times. I'm a big fan because I was always hesitant on real tattoos, but Momentary Ink is like semi-permanent, temporary tattoos, which last. They can last up to a few days, or they can last for a few weeks.
Holy cow.
I think they have maybe some that can last for a month. I could be wrong on that, but they're really cool. They're really easy to apply. It's almost like those the old the temporary tattoos you get as a kid, like where you get a wet rag
Mm-hmm.
and you stick them on. Literally, it's basically the same thing, same process, but it just lasts a lot longer. You can shower with it. You can rub it. It's pretty good. And if you don't like it, you can if you with like some nail polish remover or something, or honestly just your hand or in some hot water.
That's
You can rub
crazy.
it off if you work it. But I got some tattoos of those that I can show you guys as well. I got some Mellowbrick Road tattoos, and if anyone likes them, let us know. If you want one of the stickers, message us. Let us know if you want
yeah,
one.
we'd love to get you one.
If I post the tattoos, check out Momentary Ink, and you can use some of the logos for that too. That'd be sick. People had even a semi-permanent tattoo of the show.
That'd be if somebody gets a tattoo of this show,
I'd cry.
you will definitely
I will
be
post-
invited for an episode.
I'll post a video crying.
Yeah, and you will be on the podcast.
Oh, that's for sure.
That just has to be a
That's for
guarantee.
sure.
Unless you're a psychopath. We don't.
Oh, we definitely want you then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even if they like are obsessed with us and want to kill us.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll cuff them.
Oh, yeah, duh. I mean, we do that with all the guests, though.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, I forgot all about the cuffs. Sorry.
This guy. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Mellow Brick Road. Trace, do you have anything else to
No,
follow up
that's
with?
it. I appreciate all the love and the listens and traffic that we've been getting. Come follow us. Come listen. It's fun.
Oh, yeah, everyone, thank you so much for listening and joining us on this path today. And never forget to always ease on down that road. Everybody, have a great day.
Peace and blessings.
Bye-bye.